Hello, welcome back to True Vine Talks, everybody. This is Rachel and Linda here with you today, and we have just been hearing from so many people about how anxious and hopeless they're feeling. Once again, we are, a year and a half into the pandemic. And just when things seemed to be getting better, there seemed to be a light at the end of the tunnel, we've taken a sharp turn, and it just feels like we're right back where we started, right? We're still social distancing, we're asking to mask up again. So just a lot of frustration, sadness, fear, anxiety coming up for folks. And so our hope for today's podcast is to talk about, what's the antidote to all of this? How can we take fear, anxiety, and sadness and try to turn that into safety, hope, and joy to feel some relief? And so we're gonna dig right in, right? And so when we're feeling scared, when we're feeling afraid, that's our body telling us, I don't feel safe right now. Right. And so we need to try to gain a sense of safety. And so we can do that in two ways. We can gain safety through positive, healthy relationships, safe people in our lives. We can also gain safety like within ourselves, in our body, right? Like feeling safe at home in my body. You can do that through slow, deep breathing, right? In your nose, out your mouth. Yeah. What that does is that is going to help regulate your nervous system. It's going to slow your heart rate down. It's going to lower your blood pressure. And it's going to send signal to your brain that even though there's all this chaos going on around me, I am safe at home within myself. Right. Yeah. And then as far as relationships go, you want to try to be talking to and spending time to those people that are listening to you, right? They get you. They're a safe haven, right? They're offering comfort and condolence to you during these crazy times, right? This is an important time for people to set boundaries in those toxic relationships, right? Detach from people that are just draining you and spend more time with people that are filling you up. Yeah. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to safety, Linda?
Thank you, Rachel. Rachel's co-regulating me today. It's been one of those weeks, like for the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
For what's happening, the fear, the constant media, the news, we have constant. So your body is being placed in fight or flight every time you look at the news and you see another happening. And creating safety is, the most important thing you can do for you and your family right now. It's like, how do we create a sense of security right now when all these things are happening again? So, like what Rachel's saying is breathing, checking in with your people at home. Hey, how you doing? Checking in with your kid. How are you feeling? How are you doing? And just sort of validating things suck.
They do.
Yeah. And let
really
them
do.
sucks. I'm being quarantined again from school. This sucks, Mom. You know what? It does suck. Can't play soccer. It sucks. You were ready to have a good senior year. So yeah, that's where it is. And we want to validate the people we're with, their current experience, but also say, hey, we're still here. We're still here. And that's important. We're safe. We're all healthy. hopefully everyone in your family's still healthy, and just taking those precautions, sanitizing, washing your hands, doing the things, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. That's helping a lot of people feel safe. Yeah.
Yeah. Wearing a mask if you feel good about wearing a mask. If you're vaccinated, doing that if you feel comfortable with doing that. Because none of us really know what to do, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no right way right now to be safe from the pandemic. We just don't know the answers. And so in that, we want to create hope, because when you have so much anxiety, you get cortisol flowing through your body, and it's just revving you up more and revving you up more. So you're just going to be in constant tension. You'll feel that tightness all over. Do you feel that, Rachel, when you're?
Yeah, mine gathers in my shoulders and neck. Like, ooh, I just tighten up.
Yeah. And if you find your body doing that, you're going to have a hard time functioning in the world. So you're going to have to do some counter, what's the word? You want to counter that with something better, right? To help you regulate and calm your nervous system down. And hope, the opposite of feeling anxious and revved up is having hope. And of course, for me, and Rachel knows this, I like to pray, and just, to a higher power. Mine is God. And for you, it may be, for other people, it may be something else. That's perfectly okay. But just trusting in something bigger than yourself to take care of what we really can't take care of. I can't control the fires.
Right.
I can't protect the animals or the people. I can't control hurricanes.
Yeah.
You can't control what's happening in the world, right? You can't control Afghanistan. You can't control the flooding. I mean, there's so many things. You have to stop trying to, what can I do? What am I going to do? How do I do this? It's just revving you up more, and just say, you know what? I'm in a big universe. Cosmic things are happening all the time, and it's ever expanding. So
Yeah.
it's not really within our control as humans to fix all these things. So when you find yourself looking at news and being heightened alert nonstop, go to your higher power and pray, or meditate, or whatever you do works for you. Maybe it isn't a higher power, I don't know. And you want to shift what Miss Rachel shared with me earlier when we were preparing it. She said macro external, meaning the worldview, the big picture outside my control, to a micro self view. What can I control for me and for those closest to me? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I tend to me and mine, right? How do I focus on myself and take care of myself and my family and my closest friends? Yeah. Yeah. Through, things like doing some physical activity. That is the number one, research recommended way to help manage stress is physical activity.
Yeah.
Right? Through trying to eat well, right? Make sure I've got the vitamins and nutrients that my body needs to manage all this stress that I'm feeling. Right? Because it makes a huge difference. Make sure I'm drinking enough water, staying hydrated. Especially if you're getting like headaches and things, being hydrated will definitely help with that.
Oh yeah, and our natural inclination, Rachel, is to reach for sugar.
Yes.
And it doesn't help the body function. So I do it, and I have to stop myself. Like apple, sugar, apple candy. Apple was the better choice. Do I want to eat the apple? No. No, I don't. I want to eat an ice cream for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Tastes better, goes down smoother. No, that's not going to help the body function. You need the vitamin C, the vitamins that are in the good stuff, and it will prevent you from getting sick. What's the old saying? An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it does have a lot of antioxidants powerhouse into the peeling of an apple if you don't cut the peel off. So I think it's lycopene, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a nutritionist. I just play around with nutrition. And so what Rachel's saying is, how do I control for myself? So what she said was so good, activity. Also taking some supplements recommended by your doctor. Always consult with a physician first, because you may be on other meds. You want to get some daylight, sunlight, direct sunlight if you know your skin's protected. You want to take the vitamins C and the B6 and B12, all the good stuff for your energy levels. And you can help your kids by getting them outside and taking a hike. It's beautiful right now. Don't isolate inside behind a screen. We already have enough screen time as it is with, you know, so let's get outside and be around the trees and all those things that bring, you know, joy to our spirit. And that's what we want to do to try to control. And you can control what you eat. You can control how much exercise you get. You can control when you go to bed at night.
Yes, sleep, so important. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah. And why do we need more sleep right now, Rachel?
We are burnt out and drained. Yeah, I've been telling people, like, take more breaks. Take more breaks if you're able to. Take a day off, a half a day off here and there. Like,
Rachel tells me to take off.
Yes, I just did. Last week, took a day off. We need it. We're burnt out. We're tired. Our bodies are like working double time, managing everything that's going on. We need rest, right? Both in the form of sleep and in the form of just recreational rest, you know?
Riding a bike.
Yeah.
Oh, my camera's acting up. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. So we need more rest. And something you said, I just wanted to ping off of. It was so good. Oh yeah. Are we not? Isn't it harder to go and do than when it was, what was it, April? Oh, no, that would have been December 2019, prior to the pandemic hitting the country. Wasn't life less just to go and do? What are all the things that you're doing just to do anything right now?
Right. Yeah. I think for a lot of us, it's, you know, if we're going to go out, you know, it's like, okay, well, do I have my Germex? Do I have my mask? How many people are going to be there? Should I go? Should I stay home? You know, it's all these questions we're asking ourselves every single day that we never had to ask before.
And what does that?
We've been doing it for a year and a half now. No.
Yeah. And what does that type of thinking do to your body and your just your mental health when you're constantly having to ask these questions?
Yeah.
What does your body do?
We just get fatigued, right? And it's that anxiousness, right?
Yeah.
Which has really led us to feel burnt out.
Yeah. And the thoughts are like nonstop. So you have to just like, okay, take a breath. Okay, gotta get my mask, slow down. Yeah. EFT therapy has taught me anything, is to slow down. You know, slow down your interactions, be more intentional, be focused. slow your speech down, and that will pace your whole heart rate, your nervous system, slowing down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's control.
Did it just now. I feel calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we don't even realize how we start go right? Get ourselves all worked up, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. They got the kids at my son's school that there's a quarantine because 4 cases of COVID in the class. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to protect my kid? What do I need to do? I was like, what am I doing? I was on the thought train, right? How am I going to fix this? There's nothing. It's a macro problem. It's not.
Yes.
There's vaccines. Yes, we did. So what more can be done? Nothing.
Yeah.
Slow down. It's going to be okay. We're safe. We're healthy. We're good. But it's quick to get into that crazy.
Oh yeah, we have been trained to go into problem solve fix it mode, most of us, I think.
Oh
Right? There's an answer to this. And if I can't figure out what the answer is, then I'm some kind of like worthless failure. No, there actually isn't always an answer to everything, and that's okay.
And that's not healthy for logical thinkers too, because they struggle with. There has to be an explanation, and I can get into that too. There has to be a way. What's the way? Well, there is no way right now.
Yeah.
There's no actual. I think, and can I just chime this in? It's okay that you're feeling, confused. I want people to know that's an emotion too. And when we feel confused, we get scattered and we're not sure what steps to take. So it's so important just to sort of ground yourself. And then what Rachel's going to talk about is how do I do that and create some joy inside?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's all of this just chaos and confusion going on. We're feeling hopeless. We're trying to shift our focus from macro level to micro level. We're trying to gain a sense of safety.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to experience some joy in the mix of all that. So we want to be taking good care of ourselves. If you love to be creative, now's the time to really focus some energy in creativity. If you love nature, now is the time to get out in nature, enjoy the fresh air, go hiking, find a waterfall. That's what I personally love to do.
Oh,
I love a waterfall. Just feels so good. It's beautiful. Yeah, whatever it is, hobbies and interests that you like to do, channel some energy in that direction. Right. A lot of people have picked up like baking, last year during the, initial quarantine. So yeah. So channel your energy, time, be conscious of where you're spending it, what you're putting your time into. Am I putting my time into worrying about what's going to solve this pandemic? There are professionals that are working on that, right? And they're actually getting paid to do it. So you focus your time and energy into taking care of you. Okay. And that also involves setting boundaries. Okay. A really important boundary that I'm so happy to see a lot of people doing right now is some like breaks from media.
Oh,
it's just a lot. Yeah, it's a lot that it's so negative, it's so scary, it's just doom and gloom 24/7. And so, I totally understand you wanting to stay up to date, that's important to know what's going on, but to set limits with yourself on how often am I checking in? How
Mm.
long am I staying checked in?
Good
Yeah.
point. Cool. I heard a guy, or I heard a pastor say the other day, he's like, you only need 15 to 20 minutes a day of news to be caught
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
then check back out. What are you going to do about it? Then what? Then what are you going to do? Just
Right.
keep running that, swiping that on. Then what? There's nothing more you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of us are feeling so overwhelmed that we want to check out,
Mm-hmm.
just check out of life. And so we're just scrolling on the social media, on the TikTok, on the Instagram, whatever you're on. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. I'm not putting down social media at all. I love it. It puts a smile on my face. I laugh at videos, but just be conscious of like, man, how much time am I spending on this
Yeah.
that I'm not doing something to take care of myself, like getting some physical activity in, making a healthy meal, getting
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
done. Am I procrastinating on here? Or is this, am I calling it self-care or is it really?
Oh, good point. Yeah. The TikTok videos that are fun and funny and goofy dogs and people, surfers riding these waves, I think that's great. People are like, oh, that's just a waste of time. No, it's not a waste of time. What you're doing is you're allowing your brain to go into autopilot, and that helps it to rebuild. You
Mhm.
don't always have to be on, and there's nothing to be on about. Okay. Like
Yeah.
what Rachel said, it's a macro problem to focus on the news, all the things that are happening. So why not take a moment to just laugh at a funny video? What are you going to
Yeah.
do anyway? What can you really do to fix it?
Yeah. I love the videos of people giving huge tips. Like they just give someone a huge amount of money and they just makes that person's day. That instills hope for
Yeah.
me and humanity. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of generous people doing great things for others right now. And our doctors and our nurses taking care of people. That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah. And that they're still working, like you said, the experts are still working on finding the correct way to cure it and the COVID. So that's good and hopeful too.
Mhm. Yeah. Another important boundary um, is a difficult one, and that's boundaries with people that you're experiencing conflict, right? Acknowledging that other people are allowed to have a different opinion. They're allowed to have their own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So those are their choices, and you
Right.
can't control it, right?
Mm-mm.
But it doesn't just because they have, a thought, feeling, or behavior that you disagree with, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. That's a complex thing for people to really understand, you know. But
Yeah. So you're talking about like if you disagree with someone about a mask versus not wearing a mask, like that.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
other people are allowed to make their own choices. And
sure.
that can stir up a lot of our fear and anxiety, right? And
Yeah,
yeah.
good point. Yeah. You can't control that another person chooses to vaccine or not vaccine. You can't control whether someone feels comfortable wearing a mask or they don't. Um, if that's not something you're comfortable with, then you make that choice. Getting in conflict with that person, all that does is rev you up and puts you into a negative interaction. and then leaves
Yeah.
bad feelings. So why do we want to do that right now?
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
not do that. Hey, you got your own choice. You make that choice. I'm going to make this choice for me. You make your choice for you. If you do this behavior, I'm going to choose to do this behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always preaching your worth and value as a human being does not change based on other people's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors.
Nope.
Okay? You're still worthy. You're still valuable. You still matter,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what other people are choosing to do.
You're right. And just set those healthy boundaries. If people want to start arguing with you, just, or they want to bring up things, just say, I love to talk to you about this Jeep I'm building or this computer. I love to talk about the trees. We're not going to talk about the hot topics right now because all that's doing is releasing the fight or flight in the brain, the cortisol, and then you don't need more of that right now. You're just trying to stay safe. So
Yes.
what good is it going to do to argue about things that no one even really knows the answer to? No one
Yeah.
even really knows the answer to.
And I've read so many books and research done on trying to change someone's mind, and it doesn't happen through conflict. That's a fact. It just doesn't. And it doesn't happen through
Yeah.
logic even, right?
Mm-mm.
The quickest, most reliable change agent we know through EFT is emotion. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you want to change someone's mind, pointing out all the research and all the evidence and all of your opinions, it's going to be validating their fears and their concerns and relating to them on an emotional level and creating a safe connection. That's the way that we get people to move in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Validating their emotional experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true, Rachel. So yeah, in processing today, and doing this podcast for our listeners, and we want for you to have safety, hope, and joy. And certainly we advocate all of these things in therapy as well. And you know, Rachel and I are pretty much booked up, but we have Caitlin and Marlene. So they have some openings if you or your loved one could use some mental health therapy via telehealth due to the mask mandates that are, I think, being reinstated inside. We'd be happy to get you on board. You can visit our website, www.truevinewb.com. I think I said too many W's. And so, yeah, Rachel, do you have any more thoughts or takeaways that we want to share before we pop off?
I don't think so. I hope that this is helpful. Everybody focus on your needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and how you can meet those, because everybody's unique and different, and that's what makes the world so beautiful. Focus on what helps you feel safe, what helps you establish some hope, and what helps you create joy during these chaotic times.
Thank you for joining us today. Have a good day and a good weekend.
Bye.